What is going on, boys and girls of YouTube? So I wanted to get you guys a video to have all the builds so you know what you're doing in Overprime. Now, this isn't to say this is the only build you could possibly run on these characters. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you that. The game is not at that stage yet. But based on testing and playing and moving stuff around and trying the different items, there are very core builds or items, maybe core items. And this is the order that I think they should go in. You will perform infinitely better if you are building most of these items. I can tell you that right now, just based on my first day, not knowing what to build or hadn't tested anything yet. Compared to my second day, it was 9-day difference, literally 9-day difference, and in game it was 9-day difference. I went from like doubling my damage based on these builds and these changes. So for each role, I'm gonna break it down, section it out, whatever, so you guys can figure it out. But I want to go ahead and jump into it and get you guys the information you want. So if you like this, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll be feeding you guys as much of this content as possible. And if there's anything specifically you want to look at or know, drop it in the comments, please. But let's get into it. So first up, just going through Scud because he's the first hero that pops up. Ideally, you're gonna start with your Decima gemstone of bravery, and you're probably gonna start 2 health potions and a ward. Wards are important. Wards will literally win you games the entire match. So please make warding a regular thing the same way it is in Smite. I'm not sure about your top-down MOBAs like League and Dota. I know wards are gotta be important in those games, but wards will in this game are core, like hardcore. But first item is going to be your Decima gemstone of bravery, just for clear and some sustain. Usually don't rank this up. I usually do not level up this Decima gemstone. You'll just sell it late game anyway. Your first item is your blade of the Huan. Hopefully I'm saying these items right. Flat pen in this game will nearly double, maybe not double, it'll increase your auto attack damage and your ability damage and everything by like 30 to 40% having that flat pen. It is very important to have this flat pen. Plus the active is basically free runaway or free chase with that movement speed. So this is a very core first item. Second item, treasure sword of the kingdom. This item is broken. The critical damage scaling that you get off of it, so it increases the actual base damage of your crits by 25%. Then you have your higher crit rate and you have that mass power. It's the highest power item in the game. You have this online, you're gonna be able to 3-shot and 2-shot people. That crit will make it so you can 3 and 2-shot. And this is gonna be the same for all your auto attack physical characters. All your rangers are building pretty much this build. Then you're gonna go to Berserker's Curse, so you get sustain as well as that high power and the attack speed, assuming it applies to you like it does for Scud. Plus you get a passive where it's, if you've ever played Smite, it's like Aussie, you get low HP, you get more lifesteal, so you can kind of turn. Then you're gonna go into the short sword of decay. It's gonna give you more crits, and this extra crit is gonna be pretty much sealing the deal to consistently land your your crit autos, getting them big autos attacks. Plus the passive is gonna make it so you can kill tanks. Then your last item is going to be your miniature space distortion engine. This is going to give you more power. It's going to up that crit damage by even more. The attack speed is going to be extremely useful, and it's going to give you another movement in your items. So that active makes you jump forward. It's basically another blink. So your starter item is going to give you teleport, and then it's going to give you another teleport. You're going to have 2 movements. It's going to keep you alive. If you're getting CC locked down over and over again, instead of grabbing this miniature space distortion engine, you're going to grab Holy Relic of the O sign, and that's going to give you the removing of crowd control. It's going to give you a beads effect from Smite. I don't know about other games, but it'll remove the CC effect. So if you're getting CC locked, if you have a Beatrice, jumping on you and ulting you, you can pop that and jump away. You can blink away real quick. Either way, you're going to get both these items in my personal opinion. So I would go miniature space distortion, and then late game, you can sell that Decima gemstone, and you can buy the Holy Relic of the O sign. It's going to give you a lot of power, and you're going to be able to do a lot with that. Now, if you want to see the actual auto attacks in action, those are regulars. 835s are your crits. On Scud, you're not really going to get much higher than that. Wait till I show you Shade. It's going to be crazy. But your Q is going to be doing a mass amount of damage. You can see it's just pumps. Your combos are very good. Your ult's going to hit very hard. 939. You get a lot of damage on that. And then, as I mentioned before, you have your 2, so you get that increased movement speed, and then having the extra charge, really useful to have that charge for chasing, for running away, whatever. And then if you still have that gemstone of bravery, you have the blink. Now, if you don't need beads, but you need the extra movement, you can upgrade the gemstone of bravery. It's just not that valuable. It's good. That lifesteal is useful, and the teleport is really useful. And having the shortened cooldown on that teleport is useful. Only upgrade this if you need that shortened cooldown. If that shortened cooldown is going to make or break your game, to have that blink on a 90-second cooldown, go for it. But that is by far the optimal build on almost all your rangers. It will change up slightly for a couple of other rangers, and I'll jump in and break that down for you and have that information. So we are going over all of the rangers first. Since we covered Scud, want to get into Colt. Same exact situation, same starter, upgraded if you need that blink, but you shouldn't because Colt has extra movement. And because of Colt's, the way he's played and how attack speed is kind of core to his kit, the build order changes up slightly. You're still going to get that pen online early and that really strong blade of Huan, but then you're going to go to Berserker's Curse for the lifesteal, and then you're going to go to Treasure Sword of the Kingdom. Now, the thing with this is, in a raw fight, it's going to become a little more RNG, like if you're against another ADC, whether you crit or not, because you're building crit later, they're building crit earlier, but you're getting that sustain online. That sustain with the attack speed for Colt is super valuable. And then as you move forward, you're still going to get the short sword of decay. And then your last item is up to you. But my personal opinion is you do not need the miniature space distortion engine on Colt. He's one of the ones that's a little bit different from the other 3 rangers because he has movement built into his kit. And because he has movement built into his kit, you can actually afford to go into Time Bandit, which is going to allow that second ability. I have it keybound to my mouse, but it's your E usually, that dash, to come up sooner because every auto is going to reduce the cooldown of that. So you'll notice it's up sooner. You can just keep dashing. You literally get your dashes up over and over and over again, and you're kind of hard to catch. It's pretty much impossible to catch. You're still hitting for 800. You're getting those big autos. You're hitting very, very hard. Remember, this is with a tier 1 starter item. I'm not full build. Then for full build, you want to go ahead and grab either the miniature space distortion engine to get more physical power and attack speed, or you could drop the physical power and go for just pure attack speed. But because of the current meta, crit is way too strong. And because crit's too strong, power is extra strong. The power will make your crits hit for an extra 100 to 200 damage, depending on your character, your hero. So I don't think you should go into an item that lacks power. I think you miss out on a lot. So we're hitting those 856 crits. We got the dashes. You know, we're just kind of pumping. That attack speed is nuts. You get the dash again, it's just consistently up. You're getting 0.2 seconds off of every time you land an auto, and you can kind of keep moving and just stay safe. You do have the grenade bomb proc for the slow combo, so that's kind of your initiation, and then just, you know, you dash around. Your abilities are up over and over again. It's nuts. You have that right click to do that extra damage. Very, very strong, very valuable. It's also making that right click come up sooner. Those autos are, whenever you use it, land a couple autos, got that increased cooldown. It's a lot of burst damage. Colt plays very well because of his mobility and his ability to juke basically everything coming at him, and that's how you should play him. Next up for our rangers, our third ranger is Shade, who is probably one of the best. I won't say he's number 1. I think Scud competes with him and rivals him. I like Scud more personally, but I think Shade is equal in terms of what he can pump out and what he can do as a ranger. It was Scud. I think those are the top 2 rangers by far. I then think Colt's the third, then Evelyn is way lower to the bottom in my opinion. Same starter, Decima Gemstone. If you need to go the cooldown for the blink, you can upgrade this because you aren't a mobile character. This character has no mobility. So having that blink is very, very viable for you. The only problem with Shade is attack speed doesn't work on him. Attack speed does not increase his attacks. It doesn't increase reload time like it did. Someone told me his original character in Paragon used to increase reload time. It does not do that. Attack speed pretty much does absolutely nothing. Where attack speed is on a lot of these items. But this makes getting the treasured sword online second strongly core, like super core. Having that online right away is massively important. It makes that last auto hit very, very hard. I'll show you real quick. With crit, we walk on over. You have 676s right now as our flats. 541 is our base crit. 1351 as soon as we finish that item. As soon as we finish that item, 1351 is where our crit's at. We're then going to go into lifesteal. Yes, this attack speed doesn't work for us, but that lifesteal is still relevant and useful and allows us to win a lot of those fights. We need to get more crit online. We're going to go short sword. And then as your final item, you can either go for safety, which I would recommend, which is that miniature space distortion engine, or beats. One of these will keep you alive, and you know, you'll be able to play a little bit cleaner. The holy relic is a little bit more valuable here because the beads is going to keep you alive and the crit rate. So that this is going to be probably your core 5th item, and then you can sell your starter still like we've talked about. But whenever you're hitting here, you got the 381 base autos, and then we have 953 as our 5th auto, no crit. And then let's see if we can get a crit. Getting kind of ugly. 762 as our base crit. Let's see if we can get a last crit here. 1905 as our final crit there. With not even full build, we can still change out our last item and get more power. We had 8 power on that item. You can go into a time bandit if you're looking to have more cooldown, or you can go into more survivability, which would be that dash. I'm going to go into time bandit here because it has the highest power. It's also going to allow for our abilities to come up faster. That Q coming up faster will mean faster reloads. So 866 base crits, and then a base of 1082 for a no crit 4th auto attack. 2164. So basically a 2200 crit. If you were to, you know, hit 1, 2, 3 and walk around and wait to run into somebody, you could look for that crit, Q instantly, and then just auto again. Get that big 2164 crit, kind of free. And with these stats, you are sitting around, first of all, you only have 10% cooldown reduction overall because you sold your starter. You can get more CDR if you want to. You would have to drop the lifesteal to do that, the Berserker's Curse. I don't think you should do that. I think this build is just going to be optimal for you. And this is going to make Shade kind of do everything you want them to do and more. If they are not killing you, if you do not need beads, you can drop off that Holy Relic that we are picking up. So this Holy Relic, we have 5th. You could drop it off and just go for, you know, a more defensive item for survivability. You could go for more penetration and flat power, which would be your Decima Cannon. You do have options in those last slots. That's where you kind of get to make decisions. I do think that original build is going to be stronger though. Last up for our Ranger builds, we have Evelyn. Evelyn is by far the weakest hunter in my opinion. She's got really no CC. She's got super low mobility outside of this just bonus movement for a hand, what is it, 2-3 seconds. She's weak. She's extremely weak, but that isn't going to change much other than the fact that with that hunter build, you're going to look at getting some survivability rather than the way you play, you know, Colt, where you have movement. You don't need as much of the survivability. So similar build. You want to get the pen online. You want to get the crit online. We want to get lifesteal online. We want to get more crit online. Last item up to you, but you should be looking at miniature space distortion and you should look at selling your starter Decima for the Holy Relic. That way you have beads, boom, CC immunity. You have the movement on your 2. And then as well paired with your other 2, like you're super, super fast when you pair your use of your 2 item with your E or your second ability. And then you also have that extra charge to just keep you alive. It's a very strong combo of items and that's never really going to change. She needs as much survivability while also pumping out damage as possible because your crits are no more, you know, different than others. You have the charged auto, which will go through walls, which is cool. And you get the combo. I think that's the biggest thing is if you position properly or someone does it a CC and you get there, you can get these nasty kind of combos off by charging up. You hit the charge with an auto combo. That's 1400 burst damage if you get the crit. That's where there's some value with her. But having the movement as well is just massive. And then you've got your Q to just set yourself up slightly if you are in a team fight or you're looking to do a little bit more. So Evelyn has the potential to play just like any other Ranger, but she's a little bit weaker in my personal opinion. And this is how I would 100% build her for survivability every single time.